Yes, I'm live now. Hey, what's up? This is George Shamon. I want to welcome you to this live stream. We're going to be talking about telecommunication. That's my field, that's my experience and background. So we can talk about it to a certain limit, covering the basics and answering some questions you may have. We cannot go uh, about a lot of specifics to the job because you know how it is. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you are in a telecom industry, you are an employee or employer, or you're trying to get into the industry, let me know and let's talk about it. What's telecommunication? What does it cover? Some of the terms. Uh, and some of the references and how to get into it if you are trying to find a job, or if you're in a telecom industry and you want to improve your skills. There's a lot of resources, certificates, courses, books you can get. So again, this I made a change to my YouTube channel. It was web page coder, coding HTML, making websites, HTML, CSS, and also using Linux commands. Those I still talk about them, but I want to embed the topic of telecom in it too, because I can share a lot of information about it because I've been doing that for a couple decades. So, but I'll share some of the skills I'm learning too, and how to improve your skills in this day and age, and whether you should follow the trends or not. So now I am in a gym, as you see, sitting on a bike. So if somebody walked in, I may have to stop this because this is a public place here. It's for the building. So, but as long as nobody is here, I can be talking loud. And if somebody walked in, I'm gonna stop it, then continue as when I go up to my place, where I live. So, as of now, I want to thank you so much. Let me know: are you in a telecom industry? Are you an IT tech? Are you into the networking field? Are you into networking computers? Are you into switches, routers? You know, so let me know what you think. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this kind of topics: technology, telecom, web, making websites, coding. But this is a new series starting with telecommunications. We're gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna be answering some of your questions whenever you have a question. But so if you're on this live stream, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you will be on a future replay, thank you so much too. I want to thank you. Make sure you submit your questions, give me a signal, or enter a comments so I can help you. I can answer questions you may have. And again, this specific presentation is about telecommunication. It's the first tutorial or first presentation related to the telecom. I've been talking about different subjects for the uh, in the technology, coding, programming, and talking about other people on this live stream. So this is a two-way conversation. So if you see me talking and presenting live, don't be afraid to chime in certain topics, as long as the topics are related to what I'm saying. Those topics about the technology field, telecom, coding. But this one is let's talk about telecom to be specific. And I'm trying to attract different kind of visitors or audience, whether you are in a telecom field or you're trying to get into it. We can talk about it a little bit. David, Aki, Franco, hello, thank you. Welcome to the live stream, David. Where are you tuning in from? Are you in the US or overseas? Let me know. Guys, let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm very interested to know my reach. Am I reaching just the US or overseas or where you live? Athens, Greece. Wow, you're very close to Lebanon. I am originally from Lebanon. You're familiar with Beirut, the capital of Lebanon? So we're neighbors. I am from Lebanon originally, but right now I am in the US. I'm coming to you live from the US state of South Dakota, and the town is Sioux Falls. Yes, but I am Lebanese from Lebanon, and I go to Lebanon every couple of years, so we're close. I know Greece is nice, and Athens is the best, one of the best. Yes, we are neighbors. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, David, what industry are you in? Do you go to school or are you in? What are you doing right now? I am in an exercise room, exercising on a bike. So, if you see me stopping, then it means somebody walked in. Nobody walked in yet. But I can continue it when I go up on my now on my bed. Okay. Yeah, it's what time is it now? It's 1:30. I guess it's maybe 9:35 your time. It's 9:35 in Lebanon. I guess you have the same time as Lebanon, the same time zone. David, also, you need to start what you want to start. Okay, yes, nice. Yeah, same time as Beirut. So yeah, it's 1:35 my time now. Let me see. Yeah, exercise. Yes. Oh, okay, you can start exercise. Okay, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. David, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I need to grow my channel, and I need your help and everybody else's help to. The more uh, subscribers I have, the more motivated I get, the more videos I make. Yeah, thank you for subscribing, David. I see you subscribed. I got a notification. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, let me know if you have any question. What industry are you in? Do you go to school or are you working or are you interested to learn? What are you learning? Done. Oh, okay, you're done. Oh, okay, I see. So, yeah, I have a small channel, so not a lot of people will be watching, but people will be tuning in and out, and most viewers or audience are first timers here. Great job, because sometimes we need all that you are doing in your channel, working and studying. Okay, sure, yeah, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, expanding or upgrading your skills is great. It doesn't matter what industry are you in. Now, I know if you're in school, you'll be busy with your school work. You may not have a lot of time, but I'm sure in school they teach you about technology, about programming, Python programming, making websites, etc. So, but myself, I've been out of school for a long time, and so I like to study on my own, increase my skills, add my skills. So I am in a telecom industry. Yes, they do. Okay, yeah. So, uh, are you a college? Are you in a college? What are you studying? Or you're in high school? Now, nowadays, everybody is talking about artificial intelligence, Python programming. This is the trend. I'm not into it yet because I don't understand it. I have to look into it more, but I like to start step by step. Like once I got into coding, I started with the basics, HTML5, CSS3, and little bit JavaScript. So I'm gonna get to more stuff. But I don't have a lot of time because I have a full-time job and I'm busy and I have to keep up with my own field, the telecom field. So Yeah. So anyone else? Yeah. If you're tuning in, let me know if you have any questions. We're talking about this is the first presentation about the telecom industry. I want to start talking about it. Besides the other technology topics I cover, this is very important. I may not be able to share a lot of details because but I can talk about the basics, and you can find a lot of information on online, so on the internet. But if you have any questions that I can answer, yeah, let me know. So questions, comments. Hey guys, if you see me looking like that, there's a swimming pool in front of me. So just watching the people going in and out. So if you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, nobody is here yet. Anyone else have any question about telecom, how to get into the telecom industry, telecommunications, or other field? Let me know. If you want to talk about programming, we can talk about the basics of programming. I'm not a programmer, but I'm trying. But we can talk about Linux commands, how to use Linux. We can talk about that. So yeah, make sure you submit a question so we can answer you right now. Even though I'm talking about telecom, if you want to talk about other technology field, as long as they're related to the topics I cover, which are uh, coding, website making. Oh, okay, Java. Cubics, welcome to the channel. Java, I'm not a programmer. I can talk about, if you look on my channel, there are a lot of, I talk about HTML5, CSS3. These are web page coding. I don't know Java. Java is very advanced and it's difficult programming. So, and I'm not a programmer, but I'm the end user of a computer software, but I am trying to raise my skills to the second level. And I'm trying to get into JavaScript now, even though it's difficult. So I cannot jump to Java and C and C sharp without getting the basics of JavaScript. And then I was talking to someone and they told me we can go over, tell me about front end dev. Okay. Uh, front end dev, first you have to start with HTML5, CSS3. You have to start with those. These are the basic building blocks of a web page. So HTML is the structure of a web page. CSS will give it a style, like the color, the fonts, uh, how the border of an element, the color, the background color, the border thickness. All of these are specs or characteristics that are specified by the CSS cascading style sheet. And so basically, a web page is built of tags, HTML tags, each elements inside tags. And those tags, it's going to be very ugly if you don't use CSS to style it. So this is what you learn: HTML5, CSS. They come together. Just don't. Some people tell you, "Oh, learn HTML5 first." You have to learn both HTML5, CSS3, and this will enable you to build a web page which is in a front end, because every website uh, or web application, it has a front end, back end. So we're talking about the front end, like you said now, front end. So HTML5, CSS3, and then once you nail HTML5, CSS3, start with the JavaScript, because HTML5 and CSS3 by itself will give you a nice page, but it's going to be static. You cannot do anything, you know? So even though you can use some functions like a clicks with the HTML, but you have to learn JavaScript when you want to do more advanced things. Like, let's say you want the mouse to move over a square, and once it gets over the square, the square becomes round. This is JavaScript, you know? And if you want to click on a square, and then it will change from a red square to a yellow rectangle, let's say, this is JavaScript. So you want to learn how to do those. This way you can move the mouse over an object, what it does. You can click on an object, what it does. These can be learned with the JavaScript. And JavaScript is very detailed and advanced. I mean, I learned the basics. I can do very basic stuff like you have to learn the loops, the variable. Those are the basics. But making a project with JavaScript, I found it very difficult. And what I found out, you have to type a lot of codes in JavaScript to get just to do something simple. Like, let's say you have a web page and you have albums on it, like or icons, and you want to click on icons, to have a program in JavaScript that will tell you how many a notification, how many icon you clicked, like 4, 5, 6. This will you have to write this. This is why I didn't like any this about JavaScript when you want to make a project. It's very complicated, and you have to write a lot of codes. And then I was on a chat with somebody last time, and they said, it's good to learn C. C is the basis of all language. Once you understand C, even though it's not easy, but it's one of the pioneer languages in programming. You learn C, and everything will fall into place, because most of those coding languages, scripting, they're based on C. That's what they say. And I heard this from different sources. So is JC for logic? Uh, JC, what do you mean for logic? What you want to do? It depends what you want to do. I mean, JavaScript, you can use JavaScript for a lot of application, I mean, now with the Node.js, you can install, you can have JavaScript on a server, so you can use it for the back end and the front end. You can have a lot of applications, and then you can advance to get to the libraries and framework like React and Angular. Those are JavaScript frameworks that would help you build application. But yeah, Python is good too. Python is easy, but I think it's similar to JavaScript. I think Python is very similar, but Python is good too. I mean, JavaScript is not that difficult, but it depends. I mean, if I'm taking a course and the teacher is okay, but he's not the best when things get complicated, because you need somebody who can teach you a subject, who can make difficult concepts simplified or easier. Because easy concepts, anybody can explain the easy concept to you. But whenever you want something complicated, simplified, this is where expert and good teachers come into play. Not every teacher is a good teacher. So the logic, yeah, I don't know what I mean by the logic. I mean, I'm sure every programming language or a coding language, they have some kind of program logic. But I think the logic you mean like the application on a back end, like the back end calculation and the databases retrieving information. I think that's what you mean. So yeah. I mean, you can use it. JavaScript is for the back end too. It's Node.js. That's the application you install on your server, or the back end server. And then, I mean, also, if you want to learn coding and programming, download the Visual Studio Code. It's one of the best code editor. I have it myself, and you can use it for JavaScript, HTML5, CSS3, Python. You can even use it for C, PHP, so many languages you can use. C, even C, yeah, I don't know if I said C. So all of those you can use. So just download the Visual Studio Code on your computer. It works on Mac, Linux, and Windows, and you can use it. So you can learn it on your own. Get a box, but take courses because you need somebody to teach you. These things are difficult if you want to learn on your own. Like this is what I found out. Whenever you want to learn a new skill, take a course or have a teacher or coaching or something. I mean, there's a lot of information online, free information on YouTube, on the internet, but the information by itself, the free information, you have to find bits and pieces, put them together, and you don't even you're not learning in the right sequence. That's the problem. So I still like to learn JavaScript, but the problem is you need a reason why you want to learn it, what you want to do with it. I mean, I don't have any end goal. What I want to do with JavaScript, if I want to learn how to if I learn how to make a program in JavaScript or a project, what do I do with it? I don't even know what I want to do. So this is you have to have a reason why you want to learn a skill because before you jump. I mean, myself, I learned HTML5, CSS3 because I like to build my own websites, and if somebody want to build a website, I can build it for them. But I'm working on my own website, so I had to learn this, and I was fascinated and like coding and making websites, web pages, WordPress. I like those. I didn't make it for money. Now I'm thinking to make it for money on a side, but I like those. That's why I learned them. So, like for example, I can tell you how I use HTML5, CSS3, and a lot of people think you have to start from scratch or build a web page from scratch. That will take forever. I mean, learn how to code simple, and then use somebody else's code. For example, when I build a website, if you want to, I just get templates or themes and install them on my web hosting. But to do that, you have to learn the basics of HTML5, CSS3, the web hosting, domain name. These are basics, but you have to know those, and it takes time to learn them. Yeah. But my intention is to build an app or have a build on a website where I'm looking into it because I am into Linux and using Linux commands at home. So I would like to have a website with the Linux terminal embedded so I can give access to someone on the internet, let's say, to teach them something and let them log into the Linux server or Linux application. I want to do that, but then it looks like it's not that simple. And then they told me you have to buy. I mean, you can. It's not that difficult if you get your own server, a Linux server, like virtual private server. You get a virtual private server, and you choose the operating system as Linux because most websites are running Linux nowadays. Most of them, different flavors, but Ubuntu is my favorite. I like Ubuntu. I have it home, and you can even have your own server at home. I have two computers, one laptop. It's running the desktop version of Ubuntu, Linux Ubuntu, and I have another desktop. It's running the server edition of Ubuntu. So basically, I have them home. I have a client, desktop, Linux, and I have a server. So whatever you want, I can do that. I am the admin on the server, so I can do whatever I want. So this is a way if you want to learn Linux commands and making apps. So basically, tools are cheap, like computer software, they're very cheap, but learning is difficult and you have to put effort to learn and what you want to do. You have to know what you want to do. What are you trying to do? What are your intentions? You know? Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Guys, if you're on this live stream, I want to thank you so much. If you're interested in this kind of topics and those videos and you like my presentation, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos like those. I'll be making more often. live and other type of videos. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, thank you so much for joining. Whether you're on this live stream now or on a future replay, let me know if you have any questions. Are you a student? Are you an employee? What industry are you in? What are you trying to learn? Are you in a technology field? Are you not in a technology? I'm sure everybody is touching the technology somehow. Any job you do in life nowadays, office jobs, you use computer. Even if you're not in the office, is outdoors, you're using some kind of electronics, computers. You know, questions, comments, guys. If you're interested in this kind of topics, let me know. You have any questions? Where are you tuning in from? So. So who else have any questions and or interested any specific topics so we can discuss it? What's nice about this live, sir? Welcome, Cubics. Sir, I am a CS student in first year. Give roadmap. Okay. If you're in college, you're a computer science student, they can let you know they can give you a program, I guess. But I'm sure you can choose what you want to learn. And for sure, in the beginning, I would say make sure whether you learn it in college or not at home, learn HTML5, CSS3. This is how to make a web page, because making a website is much easier than anything else, any other programming. And recently, I've been hearing that learn Python. I don't know if you're into Python. They're saying learn Python as a first programming language. It's easy. But Python, I found it like JavaScript. So it depends what you want to do, but definitely get into the back end server, the applications like programming, like let's say, like you said now, Java, right? Get into Java or C, C sharp. Get into those. I'm not sure what's your program giving you. What kind of courses they're giving you? What kind of software are they trying to teach you? Because long time ago, when I went to college, they tried to teach me Fortran for engineering, and I found it so difficult. Fortran, man, I don't know, but I think C is good to learn because from what I hear, a lot of programming languages are based on C. So basically, to wrap it up, what you want to do, what's your end goal? Like let's say you are a computer science student now. What's your end goal in life? What kind of job? What you want to do? What you want to create? That will make a difference too. What are you thinking? But that's your first year, I guess. It's hard to form an idea. Cubics, what count are you in the US or overseas? What country are you in, or what state are you in if you are in the US? Where if you're in the US, I mean even overseas, web dev. Okay, web development. Oh, you want to do web development? Okay, yeah, that's easy then. You want to get into web development, like making websites. So first you start with HTML5, CSS3, then you jump to JavaScript. When you learn those three, you start with the back end, maybe Python, JavaScript. I mean, JavaScript, what's nice about JavaScript, if you learn it, you can use it on a back end and a front end. So once you use it in a front end, you learn it. With Node.js installed on a back end, you can use it in a back end too. So JavaScript. So that's the first three: HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript. Then learn in a back end language. Let's say PHP. PHP is old, but it's used widely now, so it's good to learn. PHP. Because you can work on WordPress, and WordPress powers like over 35% of the websites on the internet, whether it's WordPress or Drupal or other content management system, most of those use PHP as a back end. So if you learn PHP, that's a good language too, you know. I mean, it's old, and a lot of people say, you know, don't learn it, but it's if if you want to get in web development, you have to know WordPress. And knowing WordPress, it's not that you learn the dashboard. Anybody can learn. You log in, you learn the dashboard in 2 3 weeks. You learn the dashboard. You add a page, you remove a page, upload this. Anybody can do that. You know. You want to get into programming, then you have to know PHP. You know. So I mean, and you don't even have to create applications and new things. You just work on existing application. Let's say somebody needs a program or needs to edit a web page, and she has, or he has WordPress website, and you think it needs PHP changes. They're not going to know how to do it, you know. But if you learn how to do that, you'll be fine, you know. And the more you learn, the better. But what one time I heard somebody saying he was given. He's a good programmer and he was a web developer and he was given advice. He said, you know, use what you learn to make some money first. Don't keep learning only, you know. What you learn, you need to make money or find useful, you know, purposes. But for sure, HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript, you know, those are great. You can do a lot with those, you know. And then jump to PHP. I mean, Java and C sharp. If you're, I think if you work for big companies, they're gonna be using Java and C sharp. Like let's say you work for a bank, you know, they use those big programming languages. But yeah, right now myself, I'm trying to learn C because somebody told me if you learn C, everything will be easy for you in programming, like JavaScript, Python, and because they're based on C. So if you learn C, so I want to get into that, you know. I hope I answered your question, Cubics. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe because I'll be having more discussion like these. And if I don't have an answer, sometimes I have people on a live like this one. They'll be answering a question, and some people know more than me. Obviously, you know, I don't know much in programming, web development. I have different skills, but not very advanced in all skills. Uh, the ground. I mean, the majority of my experience is in a telecom industry, you know, not in websites. And but I know I'm learning those, so that's why I talk about them too, you know. Thank you. You're welcome. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So and yeah, I forgot to say, learn Linux too. Linux is very important skills to know how to use the Linux commands, the terminal, because if you want to get into web development or software development or other technology related to software, you're going to be interacting with the folders, files on servers, even on Visual Studio Code. It's good to know how to use the terminal window, you know, the commands like, let's say, ls, then cd, stuff like this, you know, because not everything, when you get into development of websites and programming, you're not going to have the luxury of having icons and graphical user interface all the time, you know. You're going to be dealing with terminal, and this is what I like. I use Linux a lot, you know, I love it. So yep. Yeah, you're welcome. Sure. Anybody else have any questions or any comments or any ideas about other topics you want me to discuss? Let me know. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining this live stream. My name is George Shamon, and I start to make those videos about telecommunication now because this is the field I work in. You know, this is my industry. But I still talk about other topics on my channels like website making, coding. But I don't know much about those. But usually we have more people on the live and they help each other. You know, so. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And even if you are on a future replay, make sure you submit a questions or a comments, you know. So Yeah. Anybody else? Questions, comments? Yeah. Let me know. You can see the snow outside if you want. I don't. Yeah. So let me show you the snow outside. See. Yeah. Oh, now you can see it. This is the back end camera is much better than the front end. Yeah. So it's snow. It's been. I mean, it's not snowing right now. It's sunny now, but it was snowing, and it's been very cold. So I guess this camera is better. I didn't know. I mean, somebody told me one time, but I don't even know. I cannot see myself. So yeah, yeah. Somebody. Okay, let's see. Okay, anybody else have any questions? Sir, what you do in telecommunications? I am a design engineer. I design wide area network circuits. So basically we design broadband and internet connectivity for businesses and the point-to-point connections. So if you have a business with different branches, we connect them together using MPLS layer 3 and then point-to-point. So yeah, so yep, yeah, I like the telecom field. We use software and Linux-based commands to access equipment on the network. So basically, it's networking and designing services, using equipment and facilities. So, yeah. Anyone have any questions? I guess there's only one person, but people are tuning in and out. So, yeah, but you can. I mean, I enjoy it. If only one person on this live, I'll be enjoying the conversation. I don't look for a lot of people. I mean, if there's a lot of people, that's fine. But if I have one person talking to me, I'll be talking to them too. So one person is one human being, like just like myself. So I do appreciate that. Yeah, and yeah, anybody else? Questions, comments? I want to make sure I don't turn the camera to the swimming pool. There's a lot of people there, and I don't want them to think I'm taking video clips or something. You know how it is. So yeah, so yeah. Anyone else? Questions, comments? Yeah, this exercise room looks good on a phone. It's much better than. I mean, it looks good in person too, but on a phone, I like it. So yeah. Anyone else have any questions or any comments or so yeah, questions, comments. Yeah, put this here. Yeah, I guess I can still hear you and exercise here. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. But I'm not gonna be able to read it that far, but I'm getting close. I mean, I can see if there's a new notes from here, new comments. I can new questions. See, let me think. I can put it here while talking to you guys. Let me see. Oh, it's maybe here. Yeah, it's much better now. So, questions, comments, yeah, let me know. See some weight machine here. If you're on this live stream, let me know if you have any questions because Questions are very important, and so yeah, write this down. All right. Yeah. Oh, I almost forgot I'm on a live stream now. Questions, comments. Let me know. Yep. Anyone else have any questions about the technology we're talking about? Let's see. If there's any question? Oh, there's no questions. Yeah, I'm here. If somebody want a questions or let's see, where should I put this? Maybe I should put it here. Yeah, guys, submit questions and I'll be over to answer. So I should be getting a tripod. Oh my god. So this one is good here. Yeah. Oh, okay, sure, yeah. Hey, I can see your comments now and questions. Yes, I can see the question. They're coming now. Yeah. Yeah, telecom, programming, web coding, all of these are related and they're used in a technology. So nowadays, everybody is talking about artificial intelligence. That's why you hear AI, artificial intelligence. But I'm not into it because I don't understand it. I'm looking into learning it. But anyone else? Questions, comments? Yellow door, white color, DWDM. Man, you're making it difficult on me now. That's the Infineras and for the transport. Are you in the telecom industry? Yellow door, white color. You must be in the telecom industry. DWDM. Oh, okay, you are in a yeah. I know because not everybody knows about the WDF. To be honest with you, uh, I've trained on Infinera, and by the end they trained me because we don't use it much ourselves. I mean, we can use it to build stuff to document circuits. But somebody else give us the design and the ports and everything, and we use it. I know how to assign on it, how to provision. But yeah, it's difficult. I know mostly about uh, switches and routers, So I know most about these, about the Ethernet, not the transport ones are difficult. Those with DWDM are very difficult, you know. Cisco, we use Cisco mostly, Cisco, and I'm not exposed to Juniper, Cisco and Nokia now, Nokia and so and what else? We use firewalls and managed routers. Mostly now firewalls. Everybody is switching managed routers to firewalls. What do you do in the telecom industry? Yellow door, white color. What kind of are you tester? Yes, yes. Nokia has switch definitely. Yeah, yep, yep. Yeah. So switches can be Cisco or Nokia. Yes, yeah. Because I think Nokia they bought Alcatel Lucent. They bought them, so it's the same one. Manual tester. Okay. Do you test like TDM or Ethernet or both or transport like Infinera and stuff? ALU devices. Okay, good. Yeah, yeah. Are you in the United States? Transport. Yes, DWM. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have exposure to transport, but not much. You know what I mean? So, oh, you're in Amsterdam. Okay, okay, Amsterdam. Amsterdam is in the Netherlands, right? That's the capital of Netherlands. Denmark, Denmark, I think. Yeah, so it looks like companies. Yeah, okay. So companies have worldwide presence. It looks like whether it's Nokia, DWDM. I mean, DWM is our Infinera. If I remember correctly, we use the Infinera, but they're trying to switch to something else. But myself, mostly what I do is switches and routers. Like basically the DWDM they use for transport for main from one node to another on a main network, on a core network. Netherlands, okay, yes, yeah, yeah. So. Yeah, yellow door, white color. Make sure you subscribe because I'm starting this new series about telecommunication because I have more information about it than coding. So I figured I'll get into this topic too. Is network lesson good for IP learning? Is network lesson? Yeah, there are a lot of resources online, and you have books, you have online courses. Uh, but it depends what you want to get into. I mean, I took a course. There's a guy who's very famous. He has like a CCIE or something in Cisco, very high certificate. He's on Udemy. And on YouTube. His name is David Bumble. David Bumble is very famous. And I took a course he had on Udemy. And this course is great, but he goes into a lot of details about the IP address. I mean, I wanted to learn about the IP address, obviously, but I don't want like a huge section or 20 chapter about IP addresses. Yeah, I have his book. Oh, okay, yeah, he's good. Yeah, yeah. But it depends what you want to learn. What I found out you can take online courses, you can take in-class workshops, and they go too general. I have a book, two books. They go too general. That takes a lot of time, and you don't need to learn everything at the same time. So what I do nowadays, I focus on certain topics. Nowadays, myself, I'm focusing on a topic of IP addresses like IPv4, IPv6. I'm focusing a lot on those. I want to learn them well because these are very confusing. I mean, we use them daily, and they're very confusing. I mean, we have practical things. Yes, yeah, yeah. So what I do, I see what I learn while doing the job. I see what's difficult to me, and I come online. I take course. I get a book. I try things myself. And what's good, if you want, there's I don't know if you use Linux. I have Linux desktop installed on my computer, and Linux the command line in Linux will teach you a lot about networking, about IP address, about a lot of a lot of topics related to the telecom because Linux have a lot of tools that are related to the networking because Linux most Linux sir I am a Linux admin. Oh, okay, perfect then. Yeah, if you know Linux, you got so many commands for the IP addresses. I mean, you got a command in Linux recently. I found out. I'm not sure what distribution you run because Linux has so many distributions. Do you run Ubuntu or the different ones? I'm not sure what you run. So, any certification you suggest? Yeah. Okay. For if you're into if you are a Linux admin, you have a certification. That would be great if you get that certified in Linux. But if you want to get into, I have. Okay, so that's perfect. RHEL. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, Red Hat Linux. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, yeah, that's the. So you're good with the Linux side. So you might want to get into networking. Networking. So yeah, how to use Linux commands for the network. Like Linux has an IP address command that recently I find it, and I am thinking to move to DWDM and networking. Okay, I see. Yeah, Linux will help you a lot because most switches and routers, you have to use the terminal command to access the equipment, and most commands are Linux-like. They're not exactly like Linux because Cisco, they have their own iOS, they have their own operating system for the machines. But once you know Linux, everything will be easy. Like let's say ping, the ping command, you use it in Linux. In networking, it's the same one. Netstat, trace route, all of those you use in Linux, and you can use in a telecom industry. So Linux and the telecom, they go hand in hand. So I can make router and switches from RA. Oh, yeah, you're very advanced. You have a lot of great. Yeah, I mean, TCP dump. Yeah, TCP pump will give you like what's going on across the network. Like yeah, this is good. Yeah, like, and I use what I use to. I use the top command. The top command will give you like a lot of live tasks, like what's going on, what's running. Yeah, so yeah, Linux is great. But you can learn a lot. And what's nice, even if you learn a little bit in Linux, you can do a lot with it. I mean, I don't consider myself an expert, but by now I know a lot of commands in Linux and I use them frequently. And recently I used a command for the IP address. I'm trying to uh, to think which one is it. You might know it. Yeah, it's the IP address. Yeah, I think it's IPS address, something like that. I have to remember. I cannot remember them. Uh, so what happened? The IP address, we use it a lot in the telecom industry and the IP subnets. And Linux has commands that it will give you. You give it a subnet, let's say IP address dash 27, and it will give you the output where all the IP addresses, which one are usable, which one are not. So instead of doing it manual or thinking about it, it's great. It's helping me a lot. So yeah, V switch, virtual switch. Yeah, I don't know much about the virtual. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you'll find the telecom industry not that difficult, but there are a lot of terms you want to learn, and each company have. I mean, there's a lot of standards among companies, but you have to if you want to get into a job like work for a company, then you have to learn their software because every company have different. So IPA, yes, yeah, that's one. Yeah, there's another one. I'm trying to remember. I think IPS. Yeah, I have to be at my terminal. I know once I see it, I can find it from the man. The man command. Yeah, this one is great, and yeah, yeah. I think I know what it is now. It's IP calc CALC, and then you'll give it the the subnet. It will give you the output, and there's one IPS calc, IP or SIP calc. It will give you the subnet. It will give you the subnet. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah. Yeah, DWDM, the transport. I don't know much about them. We have in a company transport engineers, who are specified for those. I do, the router, the switches, and Ethernet stuff. Yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Let me know. I guess I'll be making more topics about the telecom, and because telecom and Linux and the networking and these are all related. But we have to be specific. So anyone else questions? IPCal, yeah, you have to. I think IPCal, you have to use C at the end. It's missing something. It's missing the C. Yeah, IP calc, CALC, and then this other command for the subnet is SIP calc, SIP calc, I think. Yeah, yeah. But it will be classful or classless. It can be both, whether it's class classful or class. It can be anything. Like you put, let's say, IP address, you put the command, then you put the cider like slash, let's say, whether it's slash 2432 or slash 18 slash 17, you can have a slash 27. Yeah, all of those are calculated with those with this command. That's why I like Linux, and I recently found out about this command. Because I said there must be a way to calculate the subnets, and one of the reasons why I tried to find out how to find those IP address calculations, because at work you'll be using an IP address and then they'll tell you it's used by another one, and they'll give you another subnet, but you don't even know whether this how to calculate whether this I mean, the system is giving you information that you have to know if it's exact or not. So now with those commands, I know. So I can get an IP address, classless or classful. Yeah. All right. So Cubex, what are CD? And CD is for navigation. CD, it means change directory. You CD and you add a directory you want to end up to. Let's say you are at your home directory. Like once you enter PWD, it will give you your the present directory. And then you'll know where you are in a file system in Linux. And then CD will take you to another directory you specify, like let's say CD slash sbin. So it'll take you there. NPM, NPM, I think is for installing packages or something, installing JavaScript. Maybe I can't remember it, but I'm a little bit familiar with it. NPM, yeah, NPM for installing JavaScript package. I think I'm not sure. Yeah, NPM. There's if you want to know what a command does, and you have access to Linux, just type man space and then add the command. Man space and add the command. Yeah, keep the question coming. I can answer as we go. What Any questions? All right. Anybody else? Questions, comments? All right. Let's see. Put it here. Anybody else have any questions or any comments? All right. This one here. Yeah. So add your questions, and then I will read them in a couple minutes once I'm done with this, and then yeah, questions, comments about the telecom industry. Let's see. All right. Yeah. So I thought I was lost. All right. So we're still here. I'm still here. Yeah, Cubex, do you have Linux installed? Do you have access to the Linux command? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, IPCAL, I think it works because there's so many commands, in Linux. You can do the same thing. I mean, not the same thing. It'll give you different output, but it'll give you a lot of similar information. So, yeah, yeah, guys, let me know if you still have any questions. So, questions, comments, topics. All right. So, let's go now. Hey, Welcome, Hardik Gupta. Hey man, how are I'm doing good. How are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. Uh, you look familiar, Gupta. You're one of my subscribers, right? Good. I'm glad you're doing good. Yeah, we're talking about telecom. Just general questions and answers. Because I'm familiar with the telecom industry. Where do you live? I live in the U.S. I'm coming to you live from the state of South Dakota. It's in the Midwest of the United States. Where are you tuning in from? Are you in the US or from overseas? I forgot where you tune in from. Where do you? Yeah, yeah. So I live in South Dakota. That's cold weather now. Let me show you. Let me show you the. I mean, it's better today, but it's been cold here. Snow and but it's better than the previous days. Yeah, yeah. I remember you're from India. Yeah. So yeah, it's been cold here. I mean, now today is not too bad, but yesterday. In the last few days, it was minus 12 Fahrenheit, which is like minus 25 Celsius. So it was very bad. Yeah. So yeah, you remember it was my web page coding. I changed the name to my name. I changed and I added at telecommunications service, telecom service engineer, service design engineer. So that's better, fits me, better than what do you call it, the web page coding. Even though I'm gonna still do coding, myself and answer questions, but because I'm not an expert coder, I figured I'll add some more topics that I know about more. So I'm gonna start with the telecommunications, so I can help people how to get into the industry courses, what courses to take. So yeah, so I'm gonna go up now home. So yeah, so yeah, I still can see the questions.